To all my black entrepreneurs, we gotta do better, y'all. So tune in to the EnrepreNUBIANS Podcast, where we help build better black businesses.
Hey. Welcome to the EnrepreNUBIANS Podcast. I'm your girl, Tiffany Nicole, the CEO, and that is Laz Trace.
What up?
And we are excited, guys, because we have the Will Thomas with us today.
Like 3 E's.
With 3
E's. For the third E
like
on that
niggas
job.
be saying with 2 E's, he got 3 E's.
Yeah, my man get 3 E's.
3 E's.
Will Thomas
Yes.
of Rec Philly. Shout out to Rec Philly.
Yes.
Shout out to Will Thomas. Thank you for joining us on the podcast.
Absolutely.
Such a great, down-to-earth, humble young brother, man. Nothing but respect for you.
Thank you, brother.
Please talk to our audience and tell them everything that you do.
Everything?
Well, everything you want to tell them.
Yeah.
They know it's segmented, so
Sure.
they know they're gonna get it as it comes. But yeah,
No, I got you. Sure. Well, first and foremost, thank you guys for having me.
Yes.
I'm definitely a fan of what y'all do, and like I said when I first got here, I'm like, yo, y'all really bring it. I'm very impressed. So yeah, my name is Will Thomas. I'm the co-founder, chief creative officer of Rec Philly.
CCO.
Yes, CCO.
Yeah, that's different right there.
Different.
Yes, sir.
Chief Creative Officer.
Yes, sir.
Oh my God, what a title!
Yeah, and what we do is so unique, right? The model itself is definitely an innovative one that hasn't really been done the way that we do it. So making sure that the vision of the company is really lived out in the day-to-day and all the things that we do. That's really what my main role is. You could also think about me as like chief product officer. So when it comes to like what is the experiences that members get with our membership, right? What's in the space? Do we have everything that folks need? The education that we're sharing, that really comes through my lens, right? Oh, wow. But chief creative officer is the title. Put a little swag on it.
That's right.
That's dope, man.
So I'm chief creative officer of Rec. By day, by night, also a content creator myself. Newly an author. Forbes 30 under 30 winner,
nice.
which was a blessing.
Yep.
And that's just
I gotta shake your hand again on that one.
No doubt.
You got Forbes and your name in the same sentence.
Yes,
that's
sir.
something.
Yeah, Forbes 30 under 30, and something I'm very proud of. That's specifically in the social impact category.
Okay.
So they divide up the list based off of industries. So
meaning you had that much of a social impact that you made the Forbes list.
Right. For not only obviously like the numbers, right, and what the business model was able to do, but the actual impact of the business as well.
Wow.
Right. So when you think about REC, and I'm sure maybe we'll talk about it a little bit more, but REC is an acronym, Resources for Every Creator. And on the surface, it's about making sure that creators have access to all of the tools they need, the education and the community. But underneath that, really for me, I think of it as an economic development model. What happens when entrepreneurs like ourselves get access to all the things we need to be able to really build our businesses in a much more efficient manner, to be able to own equity in what we're doing, and to be able to own our future, right? So they recognized us as 30 under 30, both myself and my business partner, just last year, 2021.
Congratulations.
That's awesome.
And it was right before my 30th birthday, too. So I
There you
really
go. You
snuck
just
in
made
there.
it. Yeah, you just made it.
So that was a blessing.
Yeah.
And then, outside of that, I'm
now
also...
you could be on a 30 over 30.
I can, right? I might have a 40 under 40 inside,
They
right?
will. Yeah, just wait for it. Campaign for it.
Yeah, so there's that, and then outside of my role at Rec, also just a lover of my community. So I'm heavy in activism where I can. One of the founding members of a group called the Big Cleanup, which is essentially just a group of creatives who go out and clean different neighborhoods around the city. It was it was really a response to everything happened with the uprisings after the death of George Floyd, and all that stuff. So, I'm just out here doing what I can and just a young black man trying to walk in my purpose and, build generational wealth doing it.
Is the Big Cleanup a nonprofit organization?
Yeah, the Big Cleanup is a nonprofit. And it's really, like I said, it's one of those things where we just organize a bunch of young creatives to say, yo, who's going to clean up our neighborhoods after, everything that was happening, a couple Junes ago. And for us, it was just one of those things where it's like, how do we show solidarity and say, yo, we're not waiting on nobody to come and clean up our neighborhoods. Yeah. We're not waiting for the city. We're not waiting for any of these other nonprofits or whatever. It was like, yo, let's just go show someone what happens when, you see me from Germantown, but I'm up, maybe in West Philly cleaning somebody's grandmother's steps, to just show people that it's like, yo, we care about each other, and that's really all we need at the end of the day.
Yes.
So we formalize that into a nonprofit, but it really was just a passion project for us at first. But I do things like that. I also sit on the board of a few nonprofits. Mostly are all about making sure that we're given access to our people for what we need. Things like making sure our neighborhoods are not food deserts, right? So I sit on the board of a couple urban farms.
Nice.
Really just showing people how we can really understand our roots as folks who can manifest anything. Out of this earth, right?
Yes.
So a lot of things like that, food sovereignty, etc. But yeah, that's me, man. I'm just someone who's
this is a dope, bro.
Right? It's like super well rounded. Like everything is checked. Like I can be a creator, check. I can do this, check. Like that's dope. That's
Thank
so
you.
dope.
That's crazy.
Yep.
So tell us about your partner, your Rec Philly business partner.
Yeah, so my business partner's name is Dave Silver.
Okay.
Dave and I have been best friends since 10th or 11th grade.
Wow.
So we went to high school together and really just hit it off because, there's so many things that we're aligned on as far as like what we want for ourselves and of ourselves, but culturally very different. So when we met in high school, we met in a science class, and it was one of those Johns where the teacher was like, "Yo, we're gonna do group projects." So because our last names are so close to each other, him Silver, me being Tom's, we ended up sitting next to each other in multiple classes that year, and we really built a friendship because that science class we did a group project, and we were like, "Yo, let's just make a video." Bonded over media, everything creative, and it was just dope to be able to be like a young kid coming from the inner city. I just moved out to the burbs to go to high school, met this young Jewish guy, and I'm like, yo, I don't know nothing about you, your culture, but through that project it was like, yo, you're really gifted at these things over here, I have these gifts over here, and they complement each other so well. And before we graduated high school, we decided we were going to build a business. And didn't know what it would look like, but we knew that it would do two things. One, it would serve creative people, and two, it would make the world a better place. And some odd years later,
you're right in line. Here's Rick. Oh my God!
So you guys were initially on 9th, was it 9th and Dolphin?
Yeah, we were up in North Philly.
Yeah, because I never been to that one. I think you have. Did you go to that one?
I don't know. I feel like I have. I don't remember.
Okay.
But Sir, I don't know if you know Sir Anthony. Yeah. Sir told me that I was there a few times, so I probably just don't remember it.
Yeah, it was in a warehouse up there, man. It was humble beginnings.
Was it like this? Was it like it is now?
Energetically, yes. Equipment-wise, no. The polish, no. Yeah. The system of it all, no.
Energetically,
yes. That's the most important part.
That's what matters.
You built it and they came and they followed.
That's real.
So that's because you always have to upgrade.
Yeah.
So you got to start somewhere. So I like that.
Absolutely. Yeah. It was one of those things where the backstory is before Rec was in that warehouse, I just lived there. And people didn't, I haven't told this story too many times, but it was one of those things where, I was just getting out of a full-time job. I worked as a full-time, a digital strategist by trade. I got recruited by a marketing agency called Fame House, which represents like big entertainment brands. So I literally come in off the street. They hire me to do digital strategy for people like Eminem, Shady Records, Ice Cube. Yeah, Fame House. Wow. Founded by two guys that went to Drexel. So Philly guys.
Hey, Drexel.
Y'all went to Drexel? Oh, lit. That's what's up. So it's founded by two Drexel grads, and
So are you?
Me?
You're surrounded by two Drexel. I'm sorry.
So basically, they recruited me to work for this agency, and that's when I really learned about digital marketing and like on a high level, right? Digital strategy, and I learned specifically this idea of direct-to-consumer businesses. And that blew my mind because basically my job every day was create marketing plans for Eminem or Shady Records or Ice Cube that specifically could help them make money without necessarily needing O'Shea's time, right? Ice Cube's time, without needing Marshall's time. Yeah. So all I had to play with was the brand, right? What do we know about Ice Cube, right? And how could I then create the content to show up online as Ice Cube in a way that was authentic to what people know and love him as? Because we've been watching his movies for decades, right? And that's when I was like, word, I get this. I had a big success with one specific campaign. And after that, I was like, yo, I could either keep making millionaires more millions, or I can teach these exact same strategies to my homies. And they can go from $0 to $60,000 this year. And that's when I was like, all right, I'm ready to quit this job. Prayed about it, stepped out on faith, and then I said, yo, if I'm gonna do this for real, I gotta lower my expenses.
Right.
So I actually ended up, me and my buddy Leonzo, we moved into that warehouse, and I'm a videographer by trade, so I put a backdrop up for me. I built a recording studio for him, and that was the start of what became Rec Philly.
Wow.
Because what we needed as tools and the conversations we were having, when my friends came over, no one ever wanted to leave, and it was like, oh, there's something here, right?
Yep.
And about 4 years later, we got to a point in the warehouse. It was like, no, we got hundreds of members. Let's really scale this up and do it right.
Yeah.
And then we learned a bunch about raising money, and now we're here.
Man.
So
That was a short version, but
Right,
you know.
yeah.
I'm sure that was very condensed.
Yeah.
So there's Rec Philly.
Yep.
Are there any other Rec locations
Coming
in
soon.
other cities?
Yeah, coming soon.
That's
coming
what
All right, I
soon.
got you. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Because the thing is, when
It
we
reminds me of WeWork.
in
We were members of WeWork.
cool. Yep.
So when we came here, we were like, "This is
Yep.
WeWork for creators."
Yeah.
Yep.
This is like. It's like this is better than WeWork.
Plus, it's
to
better
me.
because you
WeWork
get everything
doesn't give
you
you
need.
the tools that
Yeah,
you need.
exactly.
They
It
don't
wasn't
give
for
you
us.
education.
Yeah.
Right.
They don't have people walking
Computers when
around
you walk in
that
here.
know the
Right.
equipment. Everybody I talk to that works here at Rec Philly,
Yeah.
they know everything there is to know about this equipment. I mean, I'm going on YouTube and they literally like Cam will be standing right in front of me
Right.
telling me everything
Shout out
I
Cam.
just
Yeah.
looked at on this YouTube video.
Yeah.
Like they're very knowledgeable, very helpful,
And you
very
know why
polite.
that is?
Why is that?
That's because myself and all of our staff, we are creators.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's like we treat this whole space as the space that we would want to have.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? So the tools that are here are the tools that like we know and use, and the ones that like maybe we haven't got a chance to use yet, but we wanted to use, right?
Okay, yeah.
And I think that that's what makes us the best people to do what we do.
Yeah.
Because for real, like if they weren't stubborn, there's no reason why Universal or the labels didn't create the model of Rec, right?
Right.
But I'm so confident that we're the best team that it's like if they tried today, they couldn't because they're not us.
Yeah.
They would be trying to figure it out from the outside in, and I think that's like the unique advantage that we have.
Right.
Me and Dave are the oldest people on our staff. We're 30. You know what I mean? So that gives us such an advantage because there's so much unlearning that we would have had to do if we were coming from like a super corporate background trying to show up and build something for creators. And it's like, yo, come on, y'all
Yeah.
faking. Y'all don't even know what it feels like to put a video out and have people see it or not see it.
Yep.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
They
saying?
don't
Like,
understand it, right?
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the advantage I think that we have.
Okay.
Nice.
That's a heck of an advantage.
Right? Exactly. Yeah, but it makes sense.
Okay, so now that you're going to spread to other places,
Yep.
explain how that process is going to work because you can't be everywhere.
Right.
So, I mean, expand into other cities, there has to be some level of difficulty as far as trying to get every rec to be like this.
Yeah.
And have the vibe.
Yes.
Have
Right.
that same vibe.
And
'cause
that's what's most
this place is
important.
a serious vibe.
Oh, it's
Thank
like
you.
it really
definition
is. It's
of a
like
vibe.
it's just different. And I love it.
And this
Like,
is with COVID restrictions.
Facts.
yeah.
I mean, we
Yeah.
were members of rec pre-COVID, but I mean, we had just joined right
Okay.
before
Yep.
COVID.
So you
Like-
guys didn't get to take advantage of us open till 2 a.m. and
No.
Nope.
No,
parties
the
all the
live
time.
shows. Yeah, we heard about it. Like, wait,
The
what?
stage,
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
Live Nation stage, we never got
Any
a
of that.
chance to
And
experience.
don't worry,
any
we're
of that.
gonna get back to that very soon.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
But yeah, I appreciate you saying that though. Honestly, that's what I'm most proud of. I think like the culture of the space that we built, the energy in the space, like that's most important. Like to me, that's what a WeWork doesn't have. You
Yep.
know what I mean? Obviously, there's the amenities of like recording studios and photography
Yeah.
studios that they don't have. But also like they talk about this word culture, but it means something very different than when we say the word culture.
It does. And it's funny, I watched the American Greed episode about the guy who started
Yeah.
WeWork.
Yeah.
And it's like seeing his ability to get people to believe in what he was going to
Yeah.
do. And it was a false hype because every time you see a commercial about WeWork, you see everybody in the kitchen drinking beer, whatever.
Right.
But when
Community.
but when you go there, you're trying to get work done.
Yeah.
Like work, not like creative work, but like actual work done.
Yeah.
You can't function like that. It's impossible to function and get stuff done if you're in there and everybody's turned up all the time.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense.
Right.
It looked good, but it actually didn't make
Absolutely.
sense.
Yeah, and we have a lot of very, very different elements of our business model that are very different than theirs. So like I understand when people give us that kind of like, hey, you guys are like WeWork.
That comparison.
Yeah, because it's like, we both have spaces, right?
Yeah.
And
We
things
meant
like
no
that.
disrespect.
Of course. And there's none taken.
Yeah.
There's none taken. But I think that our model is just so much stronger than theirs for a number of different reasons. But it's kind of challenging now because like they've had a lot of success, but then they've also had a lot of strife,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And they've had a lot of leadership challenges. So it's challenging because like sometimes they say some really great stuff and it's like, yes, but then they also do some crazy stuff and it's like, ooh, right? So we're slowly building our separation from that.
Yeah.
And that's why we really like this gym membership analogy, right? Because I really feel like we're closer to the gym. But anyway, back to your question. You asked about like how do we spread this to other cities and do it right and still build the energy that we have here. You know, the one thing that I think is important for any business owner to keep in mind is like your business is really a system, right? Like that's what makes it what it is. It's about how do you create the system that if it's operating to its full ability, creates the outcomes that your business was designed to create, right? Do y'all get the experience that y'all are supposed to have when you're here, right? So for me, I know that there's already amazing creatives in cities around the world who are already doing the work of empowering creatives, doing their best to find resources for creatives. So for me, I'm not going to nobody's city and being like, I'm the creative guy, right? That's just not my energy. But I want to go find these people who are already doing the work and say, hey guys, this is what we've developed in Philadelphia that's working really well. We want to bring the system here and partner up with the people who are doing the work, who are from these places, who are already in the community deeply, and say, yo, let's build a relationship that we know can help the rest of the community do the things that you guys already know should be happening. Right? So we've already been taking trips pretty much every month for the last 12 months back and forth to Miami, building relationships down there. That'll be the first expansion city. So Rec Miami will
That's
be
cool
here.
because we go to Miami quite often, so it's like
perfect.
let me just swipe in.
Perfect.
Rec Miami.
Yep. So Rec Miami is number one.
That's gonna be a whole different vibe.
A very different
Like-
vibe, but the heart space is gonna be the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that like-mindedness is gonna be there. But it'll have some Miami flair to
Oh
it.
yeah,
you
oh
know?
yeah.
And then we've already got a handful of other cities identified after that, but Rec Miami's the first one.
That's so nice.
Oh,
I love it.
Yeah.
Come on, man. See, this is what we like, man. This is what we like. Just positive things, positive vibes,
Yes, sir.
good information from black entrepreneurs that are doing really good things, and which is going to take us right into our next segment.
Okay.
Ninja business.
Let's talk about it.
Talk about it. So stay locked in, y'all.
Yes.
We're coming right back with Will Thoms and his ninja business.
Let's
'Cause
do it.
I know he don't seem like a ninja because he isn't.
Yeah.
But he's done some ninja business, and we're going to get him to talk about it, y'all. And we'll be right back.